Happy Moly Monday, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm going to give you 5 facts to be super happy, positive, and grateful for with regard to real estate. And guess what? The media will not bring you this data. It's available online to anybody, but they're not going to promote it to you. Guess why? Media only makes more money when they ram fear down everybody's throat. Because the sad part about human nature, what the media companies have concluded over the past few hundred years, is that with increased fear comes increased viewership. And guess what? With increased viewers comes better ratings. Then with better ratings, media companies increase the advertising dollars that they can charge. And that's the only way they can make more money. All right. They're not going to make more money by bringing you positive data. All right. And guess what? They didn't tell you back when COVID broke out that real estate values were going to go up 40% in the next 2 to 3 years. They didn't say that. And guess what? They've never accurately predicted anything in housing. The data they give you, you should actually have a contrarian perspective in regard to. The data that you should follow, on the other hand, is what Blackstone is doing, is Goldman Sachs. What is the data behind the real estate deals that they are putting together today? So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, point number 1. Let's address the elephant in the room, all right? And that is mortgage rates. And so here you can see, last year rates were in the threes. And yes, right now the national average is about 6.94. It was over 7% week and a half ago. Now it's a little bit below. That's a blip. It's going to continue creeping over 7%. Here's a chart, however, of mortgage rates going all the way back to 1971. And if this was your return on investment, you would notice that it keeps going down. And the reason why it's important to note that is because interest rates right now at about 7%, that's really where they should be. That's really where they should be. In fact, if you look at the national average over the past 20, 30 years, the national average is 8.5%. Okay, any rate below 8.5% is a great market rate. And guess what? Your interest rate when you rent is 100%. Okay, so you're literally saving 93% on your interest rate when you purchase, even in this kind of market. And guess what's even better than that, ladies and gentlemen? Fannie Mae, which is the nation's leading source of interest rate data, forward-looking interest rate data, they predict that in 2023, okay, mortgage rates are going to be in the 5.5% to 6% range, 5.5% to 6%. So anybody that buys now, listen, you want to marry the house and date the rate. What some of the best real estate investors on the planet do is they buy properties when interest rates go up, because at that time, demand decreases relative to what it was when rates were low. And then guess what? They just refinance when rates come down. And guess what? Everyone's going to refinance within 12 to 18 months. But right now, you're going to have the benefit of appreciation. All right. That brings me to point number 2, and that is mortgage delinquency rates. The second most positive thing about real estate is that mortgage delinquencies drop to a 23-year low. All right. And this is a great point, particularly for anybody that thinks we're going to have a big, foreclosure disaster like we did in 2008, 2009. I got news for you. The Dodd-Frank Act in 2010 created the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and their whole purpose is to prevent another foreclosure crisis. All right. And you can tell if we're going to have a foreclosure crisis by looking at mortgage delinquencies. All right. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? 37% of all the homes in the United States don't even have a mortgage. But what's incredible is that of the houses that do have a mortgage, guess what? 45% of those people that have a mortgage, all right, have over 50% equity in their property. They're not going to let go of that property. They're not going to foreclose on that property. And if we look at delinquency rates back in 2008, 2009, it was sky high. This is where we are right now. This is where we were when COVID first broke out. And it's crept down, down, down. It's less than it was leading up to COVID. That is a very positive sign for forward-facing real estate values. Now, let me talk about point number 3. You're going to love this one. Let's look at inventory, okay? Because when inventory grows, that's why some people think prices are going to come down. They think inventory is going to go through the roof and prices are going to come down. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Let's look at inventory over the past 5 years. we still have such a long way to go. Oh my goodness. Let's look at inventory over the past 10 years. Guys, we are so far behind on inventory, it's not even funny. In fact, if you look at inventory in 2008, 2009, in what was a real housing crash, all right, it crashed because guess what? Inventory, there was about 4 million homes for sale in the US. Today, there's only 1.3, and we still have a way to go. And guess what? In every single inventory cycle, it goes up and it goes down because a lot of people want to be into homes, because of the school year and with their kids and whatnot. And that's normal. That's not going away anytime soon. Right now, inventory is at a peak. It's going to plateau, and then it's going to come down, and then it's going to go back up, and it's going to remain cyclical, okay, until we reach these pre-COVID pandemic levels. But guess what? All right, Freddie Mac published data. We are 3.8 million homes behind where we should be, okay, where we should be to have a normal housing market. 3.8 million homes behind. All right, that was my third point, housing inventory. Now I want to get into my fourth point, which is household formations. And household formations, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the best ways that the money on Wall Street uses to assess future real estate values, all right? Because guess what? Yeah, real estate is an asset class, just like stocks and whatnot, but real estate is fixed, okay? They're not going to make any more land. You just simply can't, all right? It's fixed. It's a great hedge against inflation. And it really comes down to families, all right? Families, when they form a household and they have children, they want to enter into the real estate market. And 63% of the time when you have a new household, that new household searches for a home. All right. Palm Beach County, for example, there were 16.4 thousand household creations in 2022. Okay. Of that, 10,000 went into the market looking for a house. But guess what? There were only 5,000 homes built in Palm Beach County. There should have been 10,000 homes to accommodate for the household creations. But again, we are 3.8 million homes behind where we should be. And guess what? That's a great thing for home values because it can't decrease unless you have a massive increase in inventory, okay? And we're just not going to have a massive increase in inventory because even to make new homes, it's a lot harder for builders these days to add new inventory compared to the way it was in 2005, 2006, 2007, where it was really easy to get construction loans. Just not the same case these days, all right? In fact, average appreciation in Palm Beach County over the next year is anticipated to be 4.28%. Over the next 5 years, we're anticipated to have a 25% appreciation rate. Guys, that's healthy. That's normal. It's not healthy or normal to have a 20% appreciation, every single year. But what the media should be telling you about is that appreciation is going to normalize. If anything, call that a crash, right? But you're not going to have negative appreciation. You're going to have appreciation go from 20 to 4%. And that's normal. It should be at 4%. All right. Now, my fifth point here, ladies and gentlemen, is location. Because guess what? Every part of the country is going to be impacted a little bit differently, okay? But what I love about the Florida market is, yes, okay, it's the world theme park epicenter, all right? Also, more people move here than any other state in the U.S. In fact, even before COVID, from 2010 to 2019, more people moved to Florida than the entire West Coast of the United States. And now even after COVID, because people can work remote, more people are moving here, and it's still the number one state from a net number, which is the actual number, not from a percentage perspective, but from the actual number. And that's what actually matters. All right. Now, people are also moving here because it's a perfect getaway destination. You don't have any state income taxes. And because it's a perfect getaway destination, it's a much better state for Airbnb properties than a lot of other states are. Okay. Now, those are 5 facts that excite me. They get me, motivated. They keep me positive, about real estate. Don't let the media fearmonger you into controlling your attitude. All right. You have to control your attitude. You have to lead people with positivity. There's really great data out there. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, have an incredible Molina Monday. Let me know if you need anything at all. Stay positive, and I'll talk to you soon. Molina out.